Take it away, kid.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Ross Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's Milton's first son, Tim Hoey. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get started. First of all, did you guys have a nice Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
One of my best ever.
Yeah, you guys don't look any worse for the wear, except Joe is hyped
Joe
up
is loaded
tonight.
for bear. Just a warning.
Drink in the dark. Drink in the dark,
This
bro.
is
Still
gonna be
warning.
28 minutes of Joe tonight,
Got
Uncle
a lot
Joe.
of conspiracy theories to float.
Oh, we start with the 1970s. All right, well, we go to the Patriots versus the Jets. We start with that. And normally, guys, the Jets give us trouble in New York, no matter whatever crappy team they have. But, well, it was 10-10 at halftime, but ultimately we coasted for victory. The Jets really stink.
It was very discouraging, though. 10-10 at halftime. You expected
Especially
a lot more.
looking at how Buffalo took them apart.
They were 31-3 at halftime in the Meadowlands.
I know.
Josh McCown is still around, getting paid $10 million a year from the Jets.
Buffalo
at
might be
39.
the worst team ever, like in the last 30 years, and they wiped the mat with the Jets. I was expecting similar things with the Patriots. and
Well, I think the other thing is the Patriots seem to play down or up to the competition for the most part. And I think that Belichick's point of view on these things is you win a division game on the road, and if you win it by 3 or you win it by 10 or 20, you should be happy.
But that's not going to keep us
He
happy.
didn't,
doesn't
seem,
keep
he
us
didn't
happy.
seem too upset about it.
No, I don't think he's never upset winning games against
Division
division
games,
teams.
Yeah. And the star of the game was one Sony Michel, who punks Uncle Joe
Oh, my
again
God.
for another week. Uncle Joe, will you finally admit that Sony Michel, at the very least, was a quality pick?
Yeah, he may be the fastest back they have ever had on that team.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow, all of a sudden.
How about that?
Right.
Didn't we have a guy who's in the Hall of Fame who went to the Jets from us there?
Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin, but wasn't as fast.
Matt Cameron?
And he's
That's who I was thinking. Mini Matt
Yeah.
Cameron. I was trying to think of someone who's.
We're all
as
showing
fast
our
as
age
him.
here.
Uncle Joe, he's breaking tackles, too. You said
80
the next
yards
tackle
after
to
the
break
first
was
contact.
his first.
He doesn't
No,
break
no,
many.
no. Right.
80 yards after the first contact.
Exactly, Joe. Stats don't lie.
Uncle Joe got
Wait,
punked.
Sure did.
What's first contact?
You know,
Running
like
into his own
I know I've said a bunch
that
of times, if you look at his highlights at Georgia, man, the kid was a freak. He was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Joe, you need to go look
I
at
like
his
the number
highlights
one
in
back
Georgia.
out of
The
Georgia.
YouTube, Joe,
Chubb.
thing called YouTube.
Yeah.
Type it in.
And what was he? Second string, right?
He was a stud, man.
He was second
But
string.
he was good.
He's turning red.
This is just the beginning with Joe.
Hey.
Yeah, oh my
Trust
God, we're
me.
in so much trouble. All right, so boys, it was good to have Gronk back. It's always good to have Gronk back, but especially in the red zone where you
Wait,
feel like
speaking
he's
of
a huge
Gronk,
threat.
how much is Sony Michel's good day had to do with Gronk blocking?
It's a great
on the line?
point. Yeah,
A lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great point.
They showed a lot of very good blocks by Gronk.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
him moving around from the strong side
You know,
to the weak side. And
a running back's as good as the holes you give him,
Yeah.
typically.
You're just going to have to play and you have diagram plays for Gronk differently now than you used to be, right? You know, you can't be. He's not going to be running 30-yard patterns.
Gronk
No.
adds so much to the dynamics of the offense too. They have to pay special attention to him, and that opens so many. It's like you take.
But no one's
you-
paying special
You take
attention to
Edelman,
him
Gordon, or
anymore.
Gronk out of there. They have to worry less about each guy. You put them all in there together. People have to play
Look,
him different.
Gronk was
He
up.
was single
I know,
coverage.
but he's single
he had a
covered
very good.
by-
He had an exceptional defender on
by,
him.
by an
rookie.
exceptional defender.
Yeah.
No, that
But
kid
he-
Adams is a terrific player.
Yeah.
He's a terrific player.
He was a good matchup for Gronk
Yeah.
physically.
I think the thing to do is you have to manage Gronk. I'd play him against Minnesota. I'd give him the week off. I'd play him against Pittsburgh. I'd give him a week off.
It's
Like,
Chris Sale.
you have to.
Right.
You said it
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah.
It's a great way. You've got to manage Gronk's pitches.
He's got to
right?
forget his incentives. You know,
Oh, the
Belichick
incentives
was
are
right.
gone. Yeah, the
Belichick
incentives
was
are
right. You're not a $12 million
No.
player because you only play half the year.
He is when he's on the field.
Yeah,
When
he's
he's
a
on the
great.
field.
He's a great player when he's on the field, but he's not on the
Is
field.
he the second best tight end in the league now?
I don't
Third
know
or
about
fourth,
that.
maybe.
But at the
Behind
very least,
Ertz.
he's more
Kelsey,
he's more
yeah.
valuable to the Patriots moving forward than he would be or another team.
Oh,
no
yeah,
other team's going to
definitely,
pay him
definitely.
big bucks for past performance.
Especially
right?
if him and Brady can get in sync like they have in years past.
So
On
we
that team.
So we had a Chris Hogan sighting. He's still on
Oh,
the
yeah.
team. All of a sudden, he actually caught a few passes, and we remember, oh yeah, Chris Hogan used to be good for the
He
Patriots.
must have shined.
I
Tom's
saw that
shoes or
pass, and I
something.
thought they were going to say someone else's name as he was getting up. And
Yeah.
they said Chris Hogan. I said, oh, when was
Yeah.
the last time I saw a nice 25-yard pass
Yeah.
Yeah,
where he
absolutely.
reaches up and grabs it, which was his
But
kind
is
of forte.
that rest because Gronk is back on the field and all of a sudden
Or
they have to,
honestly, there was a lot of noise coming off that last game about Chris Hogan disappearing, and Brady got asked a lot, like
Yeah.
why aren't by multiple reporters, why aren't you throwing the ball to Chris Hogan? I think Brady was like, I don't want to be asked that anymore.
Now,
because he doesn't want to answer because he's not open.
now, do you
Right.
think do you think Belichick goes this deep, kind of hide what we have?
You
A
were
little
No,
thinking
bit.
about
I
that.
know. I've been hearing that
I don't
for
know.
20 years. No, he doesn't do that.
How
He
does the
tries-
guy just disappear like that?
He tries to win the game. That's what he tries
Yeah.
to do. I mean,
I
that's
think Tom doesn't throw to the left all that much anymore. That's all.
And that's where Hogan lines up.
Yeah.
Well, no, Joe. If you see a lot of the highlights, after the play, and a lot of these guys aren't getting open. All of a sudden, and they're not running secondary routes, which Josh Gordon does. He all of a sudden can
Well-
run a secondary
Well,
route.
that's the other thing. I think that I think that they have to incorporate Gordon more into this red zone, end zone offense, because throwing fades to Gronk is not going to get it done. You got a 6'3"
Yeah.
receiver who can jump.
That's a great
Throw
point.
it to the back line of the end zone and put it up from.
Speaking of
can't
Gordon,
run it in
can we
anymore.
all admit
Right.
that he's that was a great deal?
Absolutely.
We
so
gotta get-
far, yeah.
Oh,
you
they
give
got
you
their
credit.
money's worth so far.
Well,
for
no,
sure.
Tim. I give Tim a lot of credit. Tim said, "Look, you put a kid like that with a problem like he has in a supportive environment, and he may shine."
Yeah.
Right?
right.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
he's
you
going to
said.
get nothing but better, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. I
As
mean,
he
it would be
gets into
great for
shape
him.
now too, he's rounding
Yeah.
into shape. He was really out of shape when he first got here.
It's a remarkable trade. Where are we without Josh Gordon? It's
They're in-
really, it's unbelievable.
They might be 9-7 on the year.
And also, Josh Gordon, if he stays straight, is going to get in a lot better shape in the next couple of weeks.
Comeback
Yeah.
player of the year.
Oh my God! I
mean, in
think
the
they're gonna
NFL.
retire
Might
the
be in
award
there,
if
yeah,
he
it
ends
might
up
be in
playing the
there.
rest of the season,
In
right?
the NFL.
If he ends up with
He's a
1,000
sick
yards
kid. He
receiving,
was a sick kid. He's getting better.
yeah, he's got 5 more games to pad his stats, and if he gets 1,000 yards receiving, he'd
Oh, my
get the
goodness.
comeback player of the year, probably.
Oh, great. All right, so Tom Brady, Tom Brady's from Brookline, Massachusetts. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's where we do
Currently
the show.
residing here.
He's
Yeah, right,
watching
exactly.
as we speak. Hi, Tom.
We love Tommy Brady, and nobody
Some
loves
of
him
us
more
love
than
Some
I
Tommy
of
do.
us
Brady
love
better
him
than
less,
others.
and some love him.
It's true.
It's
But-
amazing how little Garoppolo talk we do on this.
Well, Jimmy
show
G's
anymore.
hurt. He's
I heard Jimmy
and-
G is just sitting there eating donuts right now, just
and
getting fat.
with porn stars, though.
Yeah.
Which again is our dream.
Which we don't have around here.
Yeah, if I sign a big contract, porn stars, donuts. Yeah, all right. Okay, check.
Homer Simpson.
I know Adrian's not watching. She's reading a book. All right, so, but Tommy's got happy feet. Would you agree? And, at 41, it's because it's a survival thing.
Oh yeah, because he's been getting hurt. I think.
Do you know who's got the happy feet now? Is the guy out in Green Bay.
Oh, Rodgers.
Rodgers, yeah.
boy.
Goodness.
That's such an interesting point. That guy does not look like the same quarterback. Now he had hurt his MCL in the first quarter,
Yeah,
of the first game
quarter
of the
of the
year.
first game.
He didn't look right either.
Now I have to.
Yeah, he's playing
I have to ask
protection.
this: is it a smart thing when they get the happy feet a little bit? Is that like wisdom, or
Yeah,
is it?
it's a little
It's
both.
a Tony Easonism.
Little
you
of
know?
both.
I think it's my career's almost over. I don't want to
No,
be an invalid
but they
when
know
this thing
a lot of
ends.
times they just know when a play's dead.
Yeah.
And they get rid
Yeah,
of it.
you saw
But
Rodgers do that. Too.
Yeah,
You
you
live
don't
to
need
play
the
another down.
happy feet though to throw it out of bounds or to eat it and go down.
Yeah.
Well, Rodgers can still use his feet to get out of bad spots.
Yeah.
Tom Brady can't, so he's going to just throw it out of bounds.
You know, a couple.
throw it away.
If you hold on to that ball, you're risking fumbles. Strip sacks. There's a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
negative
bad things can happen.
And I think these guys, in their wisdom, they know just throw it down. Plays over. I can see it's dead. Like he recognizes this play's dead right off the bat.
But you can't do that, Timmy, in playoff games. We know where every play
Intentional
is much
grounding.
more important than
Well-
playing the Jets. So this is going to end up costing us if this continues on.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be much better teams rushing.
There are
too.
definitely chinks in the armor.
He's going to have to play better. We can all agree he's going to have to play better if we're going to win the
He's
Super
a
Bowl,
middle of the
right?
pack quarterback
Yeah,
right
now that's what
Oh,
he
I
is.
He is.
agree.
Absolutely.
Middle of the pack guy.
All right, so despite the fact that Uncle Joe said that I said good words about Adrian Claiborne, which I don't
You don't
remember-
recall?
I do not recall saying that.
Senator.
Adrian Claiborne is a bum. He's a bum. He stinks.
I agree.
Whatever we
It
pay
was a
him,
bad
he's
signing.
stealing money. They should indict him in, is it Norfolk County where Foxborough is? I don't
Yeah,
know.
either one.
Whatever.
Suffolk, Norfolk.
I mean,
Yeah, it is Norfolk.
right, he's a one-act pony. All he does is try to get around
The
the
speed
edge.
rush, yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to replace him with somebody before we head to the playoffs?
Well, how
Because
about
that's
putting?
not working out.
How about asking Hightower to rush the passer because he doesn't make plays as a linebacker anymore.
Yeah.
If we just realized that Chris Hogan was on the team, do we even realize that Dante Hightower's on the field? He
shame.
does absolutely nothing every game.
Yeah, we love that guy too.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a gamer. Your
He
legs
was
don't
my
work.
favorite player.
Your head's saying do it. Your legs are going,
That's
no,
right.
no.
So Dante's, this is his last season. They will cut him, right?
It depends on how much dead money is on the books, but
Yeah.
It doesn't look
he
good.
doesn't deserve to come back in the position that.
And,
he's
and they
coming
don't
back
even
in.
have a warm body to fill in if he goes down either.
That's the problem. You're
That-
right.
No depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so boys, it's official. Stephon Gilmore was a great signing.
Terrific.
Yeah, he's been the best player on defense. Would you say the whole season?
Tiny lapses here and there, but game in and game out, he just stops the other best receiver.
And we thought he was kind of a laissez-faire kind of guy. I'll give the effort.
Oh, he
when
can be.
He
But-
had some
but
pretty bad games starting
But
on
if
that
you-
contract.
Last year.
Yeah.
last year, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about this
Yeah.
year. Would you agree he is the best player on defense for the New England
Especially
Patriots?
when
Most
he gets
consistent.
called out, he really picks up his game. When he gets called out and put on a number one guy, he picks up his game.
And he's
He does.
covering for twin Jason.
Twin
big
mistakes,
time.
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh, I actually disagree. I think Jason McCourty's played reasonably well over
I
the
think
last few weeks.
Devin's problem is that he's covering up for his brother too much, and
Well,
he's getting left
I don't know.
hung out to dry.
So you're happy with the acquisition? You see that we got him for nothing, and we had to
For
fill
Jason
his spot.
McCourty? Yeah, as a second quarterback. I mean, he's
You
been
ever notice when you
relatively
see these guys
reliable.
get wide open touchdowns, it's always Jason McCourty's guy.
Yeah, but there seems
Wide
to be
open
bad
guys, you're like,
communication
where-
in the secondary half the
I don't know.
time.
I
Well,
don't know.
I mean, you think if you're gonna have communication secondary, I think twin brothers should be able to
Yeah.
be
Telepathic.
simpatico, you know?
But what can we expect for a guy that so we got off the scrap heap from I think Cleveland, right?
That has to be the toughest
That no one else
position.
wanted.
Yeah,
Toughest position. all is
Tennessee
quarterback.
had kicked him out.
and people were surprised that he even made the team.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, so boys, if Rex Burkhead comes back and stays healthy for more than 5 seconds, then all of a sudden the offense looks quite balanced and looks quite.
What do you
Oh,
like
gives
him
him
for?
another-
Third and 3? Is that his specialty?
So he's
What
the
is
kind
it?
of guy like Gronk that you really have to
No,
watch.
he's
is
kind of a
Texas.
combination White and Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah, here's the one thing I like about him is right now when White's in the game, White has run the ball more this year, but typically White's in the game, you're going to pass it. Michelle's in the game, you're going to run it. You put Burkhead in, and you could pass it or run it, which is nice, especially on a 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
Right. So
And you can go into the hurry up. He's not too
Right.
bad at picking up the blitz, so you can
I
go
hope-
into the hurry up.
Let's knock on wood. That's a big boost to the offense if he can stay
He
healthy
had
in
some
the
great
next 5
games last
games.
year.
Yeah.
He really did.
Big
he was a
boost.
very important part of the offense
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. They haven't done the hurry up since he left.
And if
think
Uncle
that's
Joe
right.
is throwing all his karma to Sony Michelle as far as getting hurt, which
Yeah.
we know he wants.
Oh,
We-
no.
We know he wants to see him scraped off the field, and all of a sudden, at least we have some depth that Sony goes.
We
down.
don't want him getting hurt because he'll throw the ball to the other team
It looked like he
immediately.
got hurt on that one play. He looked like he was going to be scraped off the field.
He's turning red when you talk about Sony
So
Michelle.
excited.
Did you see that one time he got really sandwiched? He got bent
Oh my God!
backwards
Yeah, I
and-
thought he broke his back.
I thought he was
I
done.
was
and
kind
he-
of surprised he came
he
back.
came-
Yeah,
came
I'm
right
sure
back
you were
in.
screaming at the TV. Get up, you little girl friend. All right. So we're playing the Patriots versus Vikings. That should be a good game.
28-27 New England.
Oh, that's your prediction.
yeah.
Oh my.
Which
God.
Patriots team shows up?
All right.
The
so
one that wins
The one that
28-27.
wins every home game.
Who shows up?
They win every home game, though,
I
Tim.
know,
can't
but they
believe
look
you saw
so.
my-
I didn't steal anything.
They look
I'm
so
not even gonna write it
ridiculously
down
bad
anymore.
sometimes, though. They look so horrible.
They don't.
at
They
times.
don't instill confidence
Have
in
they
you at
looked
any
bad
time.
like this many times
Yeah.
in
No.
the last
It's like
15
2010.
seasons?
What was that horrible year we lost to Baltimore in the playoffs. I think it was like
2010, I
2010.
think,
The
yeah.
first play was to dive for 80
Yeah.
yards.
2009 was
we gotta-
even
We
worse.
gotta predict the Pats Vikings. You stole my thunder, but I can think of
stealing. I
another
didn't do
thing.
anything of the sort.
What's the score? Who's winning, Joe?
Oh, well, the Patriots, they've done well at home, just terrible on the road. But a high-scoring game, I'd say 34-31.
All right, Timmy.
I say 28-21 Minnesota. I don't believe in this Patriots team.
Well, you just...
Well, I'm going to predict that the Patriots score 60 points every game until they do that this season. I have a feeling they can do it. So I'm going to say it's 60-3.
There you go.
Because you stole my.
I did nothing
you
of
stole
the
my
sort.
prediction.
I
Yes,
don't
you
know
did.
what
All
you're
right, we're going
talking
to Celtics. And would you agree? I'm going to ask the question that Kyrie, Uncle Drew, and Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant are the only untouchables on the Boston Celtics. Everyone else could go.
Yeah, well, they're the linchpins of the whole team.
Go
anyways.
for one Mr. Davis from New Orleans. That's who we're talking
Any
about.
combination. Yeah.
Right. But we were talking about Hayward and we got him. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
Well,
I'm
they say Hayward. It would just be such a horrible look for the for the Celtics to get rid of him when they're out
Yeah.
there looking for other free agents.
Yeah.
This guy came in, could have gone anywhere, chose us, got injured, and we're bailing. So Hayward.
But we're not going to be surprised.
No, but politically might be untouchable.
But we're not
But what if
surprised
he's only 90% of what he used to be that they signed?
Yeah.
The injury,
But
he
from
never
a
comes
political
back.
standpoint, a free agent, how
No, I
how
think
we
Tim's right.
perceived
It would be
throughout
hard,
the league.
but pure untouchables.
Yeah,
I
pure-
think
right.
just from
Wait,
Danny's
have we
perspective.
Trader Danny, who we've not heard from in a while.
He'd be very hard to
Just
trade.
I
Yes,
remember
we do.
unnamed
Yeah.
people in this panel were saying that somebody was better than Kyrie Irving.
Who's that? I never. I don't.
I don't remember that
Said
one.
Jason
yeah.
Tatum's better than Kyrie. Irving.
Yeah, Tatum was better than
Oh, yeah.
Kyrie
No,
Irving.
I asked the
That's
question.
the-
That
the,
was the question.
The young
Oh,
Kevin
question.
Durant.
I think in 2 years that Jason Tatum will be better than
It could
Kyrie
be.
Irving. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I said
Can
in
we
the
agree,
future.
though, that Kyrie is a max contract guy?
Oh,
love
100%.
Kyrie. Oh, yeah.
That was a little on the table for a little bit.
Yeah, no,
He's the fourth quarter guy
No,
on this team.
It's true.
They
It
go
was
right
on
to
the
him.
It was on the table, like Timmy said, because of the injury concern.
Yeah.
You don't want to see if this
That's
guy
pretty
came
healthy.
He's
back.
reminding us who he is.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
right.
and he's
It's
a
amazing.
pleasure to watch. Yeah, I
He's so
just-
smooth. He's like silky smooth.
He's a video game.
Yeah.
I love the way he finishes
That
at the
hand.
basket.
Oh.
He can change
Either
hands. He
hand,
can
left
put it
hand.
around. Oh, it doesn't matter.
because he's a guy we've not really seen before. In a lot of
Let's
ways.
talk about Terry Rozier.
All right, so boys.
He's got some ammunition.
No need for a recount, boys. In this political climate, the Celtics are who we think they are right now.
are.
They're a 500
They're
team.
500, yeah.
They're 11-10, but they truly
I
are 500.
Pull the old Bill Parcells. We are what our record says we are.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
However, I think they've run into some red hot guys. I mean, I've been watching
Oh,
games. We've had some
no.
three wide open threes. We miss them all. And some guy on the other team, there always seems to be one of them. They play unconscious. It's like when we play crappy quarterbacks.
Because we're
the
playing
Patriots.
bad defense today.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
it
but
is.
some of them are hitting threes from 5
No,
feet outside
It's
It's
the
only
arc.
been guards.
I don't know. It's
and
been
they
guards, yeah.
abusing Terry Rozier, Marcus
Yeah.
Smart.
We get wiped out by the New York Knicks, and every guy on the team
Let me
looks
throw
like
this
an
out there.
all-star.
Oh, I know.
Terry Rozier's got to
to
go.
Yeah.
He's
All
got to
right,
go.
no, we're not even talking about Terry Rozier for one. Come on, I got to do the list.
Okay.
I already did my.
I know.
My
I'm playing
prediction.
ball with you right now. I'm on your side.
All right.
He's in the catbird seat. He's
Okay,
already ate
all
it.
right. So, all right, we're gonna go to Terry Rozier. I'm gonna go down the list. Boys, hang
Yeah.
in there with
No,
Terry Rozier.
no,
Just
we're out.
Hang.
Nope.
This
in
guy
there.
is
I
so
love
obs-
Terry Rozier.
He's so obsessed with being a free
Yeah.
agent and getting the big payday. He has forgot
How to play
you got to
defense.
put your freaking head down and play as a team. I can see him when he gets the ball. I can see the contract numbers going through his head. Oh, I got to get my points. While I'm in here, I got to get my
Yeah.
numbers. It's not the way we're going to win.
He doesn't want to be what we need him to be, which is
Yes.
a role player in this
Russ,
team.
exactly.
That's what we need him to be, and he doesn't want to be a role player by every
You know,
indication.
when he gets his moments, he's like, I got to do it all in these
Yeah.
But
moments.
I would ask you that he carried a heavy load in the playoffs,
And he
did an
crapped a bet a few
exceptional
games, too,
job.
in the playoffs.
Is he really playing any different a role than he played in the playoffs?
no,
Where we
he is.
expect him
But that was a
offensively
different,
to
that was a different role.
You
in
It's a
the
different
playoffs.
role. Yeah.
No, but he's still playing the same role.
Oh, I know, and that's
He
the
wants to
problem.
keep
You
playing
just
that
made our
role,
point.
yes.
Right. He wants to play the role that he played last year, and that's not the role we need him
We
to
But
play.
that's a
different guy
difficult
right
thing
now.
to ask a 24-year-old guy to do.
It's not a difficult thing to ask of a guy who wants to play in a championship team. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
But he
his
wants,
the world
his
spins.
mindset is wrong right now.
That's right.
Yes, you're right.
I agree with that.
he wants to get paid, which is understandable.
I understand that. I have no,
Yeah.
but there's another way to get paid, which is go out and play 25 great minutes, as opposed to being an Emming about not playing 33 minutes.
Yeah.
and
Marcus
taking every
Smart
shot.
got paid
Exactly
doing
right.
precisely that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, look, did the Celtics have negotiations with him before, the start of the season?
Yes.
Rozier?
Was it not anything close to that he thought that he was going to get?
Yes.
Did that affect him possibly?
I'm sure all of it did.
Right?
You know, he should
He's like,
take it-
damn, I'm not a 10 million a year guy. I'm a 18, 20 million.
Well, his time will come.
I know, but
He's,
he wants
he's
to-
impatient for
I
that
know.
time.
Just do
I
your
think it's
job.
gonna hurt him.
Just
I
do
think,
your job.
I think someone needs to take that lad aside and have a good talk with him.
Well, I think they've already done that probably.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think
Numerous times.
it's what's clear to me is if they still need to shake this team up as it gets closer to the deadline, he's the guy they'll trade.
Yeah, and maybe
that's a
we'll
great
get something
point.
good
He's
out
got
of him.
value.
Yeah.
Right? And you only need $3 million in salary back. So there's a whole bunch of second, third year guys who you could take back.
But like Danny Ainge has a lot of good point guards in this league.
Yeah.
Most teams don't need one.
And Marcus
Some
Smart,
do, though.
Marcus Smart is a leader of this team. He's
He
one of
is
the
a
leaders,
leader,
yeah.
absolutely.
So he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not unless you're
He
getting
might be
Davis.
right now. It's a weird thing to say. Maybe the most important guy on that team right now.
Wow.
If they get a chance of winning this championship, I mean, from a the pieces are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be the glue and
Yeah.
the mindset that brings them to the proper place.
Well,
It
we
was
always say
interesting
that-
to make him a starter in the
Yeah.
last time out. That was a
That was-
big move.
That was Brad admitting that just rolling the same guys out is not going to do it. And you need to infuse the team with the attitude that Smart brings every
Smart seems
single
to be
night.
perpetually hungry.
Yeah.
And perpetually and he's
well,
not the
earlier
most
in the year,
talented
I
guy.
wouldn't have said that.
But we would have said we were
Smart was not playing well the
No, he
first
wasn't.
like,
He didn't have that
dozen
same
games.
energy.
Yeah.
But we would be one and done last season. We would have lost to the Bucks if Marcus hadn't.
So
come
you
back.
get this bunch of talent, right? What you need is leadership now.
You absolutely do.
Someone to
That's
stir
what-
the pot.
You got all
Yeah,
this talent.
yeah.
Now you need a leader
Yep.
who's going to
create an identity for the team.
create an identity.
Yeah.
And here's the
Absolutely.
thing, and this is where I would criticize Kyrie, or at least put the onus on Kyrie, which is, this whole thing was about Kyrie wanting his own team, wanting to get away from LeBron, get his own team. Well, Kyrie has his own team, right? Kyrie's got to now take accountability for leading this team with the right attitude. So you got to look at Kyrie, you look at Smart, you look at Al Horford, who's a veteran,
Yeah.
right? And those are the guys who need to step up and actually instill the point of view that they
Yeah.
need.
Russell, the one thing I think Kyrie is missing, he wasn't here for the playoff run.
It's a good point.
Okay,
True.
So he can't go in and say like, "Hey,
This is what
look
we did
what
last
we did
year."
last
Right.
year," right? He's almost like a new guy.
Oh
on the
no,
team.
Kyrie
Well, I
has
think-
all the credit in the world.
No,
He's
no, I
won-
don't mean
he's
it like
won a
that, Scotty.
championship. He
I
was
don't
the
mean it like
reason
that. But
in
he
the,
wasn't
that
the
game
reason
won.
they. He
I
wasn't
know,
a
but-
lot of it, but he wasn't.
But he's the man. I don't.
Let's
he's the
not
man.
let Brad
He's not-
Stevens off the hook
Well,
here
that's the
either.
other thing as
That-
well.
And that's a
He-
segue. Is
be-
if any other coach with the high expectations that we had for the Boston Celtics, a quarter into the season, if they were 11-10, would any other coach but Brad Stevens be on the hot seat, boys?
Yeah, he's got to change the culture and instill the leadership. That's his job, to be the
But would he
leader
be
as,
on the hot
as
seat?
coach.
Well, I mean,
Brad-
are you saying hot seat as in get fired, or
No,
hot
no,
seat
no,
as in
he's
you're
not gonna
own
get
it?
Brad
fired.
Stevens.
No, no. If this was another coach, would
No.
he'd
Brad's-
have another 20 games to
If
see
it
what
was the
happens.
Red
Absolutely,
Sox
yeah.
manager, we'd be
He's getting-
pilloried
Brad
him.
Stevens is in uncharted waters for himself right now. He has always been the guy making the most out of the least, right? At
Now he's
Butler,
making the
at
least out of the
Celtics,
most.
He took Isaiah Thomas and that bunch of
Yeah.
bums to the Eastern Conference Championship. Last year, two of his best guys were on the bench, and he took them to these. Now, for the first time maybe in his life, he is the guy who's supposed to win.
Yeah, that's right. And then what comes with that? What's a little heat?
Yeah, heat, absolutely. I don't think hot seat, but heat. Like we're looking at him now, and
First
Brad's
time
got to
he's-
figure out how to push
Yeah,
buttons.
he shouldn't be immune to criticism. Last year, with relatively the same cast, except for Hayward.
But always the underdog.
17-2,
Always the
they
underdog,
got out
yeah.
too.
All right,
Always-
so I was with Max in Thanksgiving, and Max comes up with some good trade rumors. And I know you guys.
Yeah.
So he said, Towns in Minnesota, maybe you've heard of him, pretty good player.
for sure.
A rim protector like you
Thibodeau's
like.
on the hot seat. Would you include in a package to get Towns, Brad Stevens?
Yeah,
It's
it's a great
brilliant.
question. It's a great question.
absolutely
Well,
brilliant.
you asked the question years ago. You were saying, would you trade Brad for Curry or Thompson?
Yeah.
And we said no, but we would trade him for Curry.
Right.
Right. I don't know. It's a great question.
Would you go?
Well, Thibodeau was a coach here
Would
for
you
many
go
years.
Jalen
I'm gonna
Brown,
trade-
Brad Stevens, Marcus Morris, and Marcus Smart for Towns.
I would do it for Anthony Davis. I would not do it for Towns.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, the only one
Towns
in
has
mind.
a little
Carl
too much
Anthony
dog.
Towns is a little bit
If
of
I could get
diva.
a right
little
package
dog in him.
without giving up Tatum or Irving to get Towns,
Not
with
Towns.
Brad Stevens,
No.
would you do it?
I would do it for Davis. I would not do it for Towns. I'm
Okay,
not
so you would
convinced about
trade
Towns.
you would trade Brad Stevens in a package for Anthony.
Amen. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
And
No,
you know,
I-
in basketball
I
they
would.
do that stuff.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'm more interested
I don't know about that.
in Kawhi Leonard, who is a free agent at the end
Yeah.
of this
All right,
year.
we're gonna. All right, so Brown and Hayward have been the two biggest disappointments on the Celtics.
In
right now.
Rozier.
In Rozier. Okay, good. We agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert Williams is going to be a player. We'll talk
I
about
hope
this
so,
before,
yeah.
but he is a freak of nature, right?
He's. You looked it
Yeah.
up. 7'6" wingspan.
7'6" wingspan
Yeah,
for a
crazy.
6'10" guy.
Already contributed more to the Celtics than
Look.
Fab Melo, R.J. Hunter, and Jared
Hey,
Sullinger.
look. The thing about Robert Williams, almost every mock draft had him go in the top 15, some as high as 12.
Yeah.
And the fact that he lasted to us is remarkable.
You know,
He has
they have
those
excellent
go-go
player
gadget
evaluation.
arms.
Yeah, he does it.
The Celtics have excellent college
They really do.
evaluation.
So he's
do.
played, I think, 7 games. He's participated in 7 games on the court.
About
He's
12
8
minutes,
for 8. He has not missed a shot yet in the NBA.
Keep that up,
You
son,
just
and you'll
put
be
the
in the
whammy
starting
on.
lineup.
You just put the whammy
Yeah,
on.
right.
And I
Next
can
eight
guarantee
shots.
you
That'll
he's
send you
missing
to the
his next
Springfield.
shot.
You keep
They're
it
all
up.
dunks on alley oops.
Yeah, right. All right, so we go to the Red Sox for a little bit. The big question is, Nathan Eovaldi, are we overrating him?
Boy, I would hate to be the guy having to sign him right now, because there's. What do you do?
Yeah.
Because other than the 2
What do you
starts, that he had 2 great starts for the Boston Red Sox
In
when
the regular
required
season.
In the regular season. Other than that, he was a nondescript pitcher.
He,
Would you
he's,
agree?
he's stunk.
I know.
Until late in the year. He kind of found it again,
found it
like
again.
his last 2 or 3 starts, but he went into a
But that was a low leverage situation those last 2.
You remember how excited we were after his first game? I was. Anyways.
Yeah.
I said, this guy, he throwing 98.
Didn't he
it started on
clean
one
the
side of the
Yankees
plate.
clocks right
Yeah,
out
but
of
that's
the
going to be
government?
a big headline story if Eovaldi signs with another team. How everybody's so depressed that
Did
we
you
lost
see
Eovaldi.
Well, he
prices?
wasn't a Yankee at one time before. He might be. a
Price is
Yankee
all
again.
over him to sign with the Red Sox, I
Yeah.
guess.
But is this a great
Oh,
loss
they
if we
play
lose
Fortnite
Eovaldi?
I
together.
think so.
Because I mean, ostensibly, we're still talking about a 3rd
yeah.
or 4th start.
If it's not you need another starter.
If he's that guy,
Yeah,
if
it's a
he's
big
that guy
loss.
that we
Yeah.
saw in the playoffs and a few of the starts last year, or he's the guy who's been roaming around the league for
Yeah.
8 years.
But you gotta have. You still need 5 or 6 starters. They're
Our
hard
5th
to find.
starter, if we don't sign him, our 5th starter is Stephen Wright.
If
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
That's
what's
like having a
Five
gun
start-
to your
yeah, no,
head.
you're correct.
what's it going to take to get this guy?
I don't know, between 15 and 20 at least.
Yeah.
5 years?
4 or 5
4 or
years.
5.
For an every
Are
know,
the
5th
Yankees
day
ready?
starter,
Are the
yes.
Yankees ready to?
Well, the
sink
Yankees
at him?
just signed a guy. They just traded for the kid
the
Paxton.
kid from Seattle.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher.
So, maybe not. They do say they want another starter.
Do you think there's anything in Eovaldi that says I want to stay here? I might take a little bit of a discount.
Nobody's taking a discount.
This team, though, they seem like they're a solidified
Well, him and
bunch.
Price are buddy.
Yeah.
They play Fortnite together
Who
and all
knows?
that.
Most
but,
of the time they take
but
the
money's
most money.
money
You
talks.
rarely see it, but we
Fortnite
did see it
players
with Pierce.
walk, you
we
know.
saw it with Pierce.
It's not going to be that close. Trust me.
Yeah.
If a team's
Yeah.
going to woo him, they're going to
They're
pay a
gonna
lot.
take
But a
of
it.
couple
Yeah,
of million,
correct.
does he take the hometown discount?
No,
He
he
does.
doesn't.
Doubt it.
No one ever has.
It's his
no one
last
ever
bite
will.
at the apple. And he's
Yeah,
got
the
2 Tommy
agents don't
Johns.
let him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and agents won't let him.
And
They-
the Players Association won't let him.
No.
Dave Dombrowski is not going to let stars walk, and we've got a lot of stars coming up in the future, free agents, before he's going to trade them before letting them walk. Would you agree?
Yeah, and boy, but Chris Sale, a lot of people are gonna say, "Geez, he might be damaged goods now."
Well, it's either Chris Sale or Xander Bogaerts who they're going to sign next year. It's not going to be both, right?
Yeah.
And so the other one's going to go.
How can you say that so convincing?
There could be other things that other people or that would go. that
You
would
don't
allow
think
them
we
to
can
do
have
that.
both of those guys?
I don't think we're going to end up with both. I think it's going to be one or the other. That's just what I'm thinking. All right, boys. They raised the prices,
No.
damn it. I
they widen the
speculated
seats?
for weeks.
Hit us
that they
right where
could-
it hurts. Yeah.
And they raised our prices in Section 8, the affordable housing program of the Boston Red Sox.
A lot.
Well, the
most.
beer vendors come up to Section 8 now.
I will say this: there was a
Not
guy.
a
There was a
chance.
guy sitting 3 rows in front of me, and he was about 320 pounds. And there was about 1/3 of him could fit into that seat out in right field.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they got to make those seats wider.
Yeah,
It's
so
ridiculous.
we're all. Are you angry?
it's not good that
He's not
percentage-wise.
happy.
Well, Russell's thin.
Percentage-wise,
He's
they
not
went
as
up.
affected.
Percentage-wise, our tickets went up a lot.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We have had the best deal.
We've had a nice
I
deal.
shouldn't say it that loud.
Yeah.
No, we're
exactly.
clearly talking too
No,
much.
Sam Kennedy heard you say this before, and now that's
I heard you
that's
say
what
you
you're
paid
doing.
twice.
Yeah.
No, the funny story is, one time when I was talking to Larry Lucchino, I thanked him for keeping Section 8 prices so low.
And the next day the price.
And
was
he
up.
said, "That's all you pay?" I'm like,
What were you thinking?
But you know
I
what?
wasn't
I'm going to
thinking.
bring this up. Those seats are ridiculously
Yeah, it's
small.
ridiculous.
They are ridiculous.
They were made for
small.
people born in
That's why-
1901.
They
Yeah.
have
That's
it.
why we sneak behind the plate.
But
most
they
of the
got to
time.
do something.
right.
Well,
about
they
it. It's
made the
ridiculous.
box seats bigger, a little
Yeah,
wider.
those
Not the
seats are
grandstand
s-
seats.
They're ridiculously small.
Yeah. All right, boys, that's our show tonight. That went quick, and
did.
Joe survived. Want to thank the boys. Want to thank everyone
Wait,
behind
one
the
thing.
scenes. Of
Catholic
course,
Memorial.
the-
And
Catholic
the Super
Memorial,
Bowl
Super Bowl.
Saturday.
Oh, all right,
40th
there you go.
anniversary
Yep.
of my senior year. When I was
Bula Bula.
Wow. All right. Want to thank, of course, the lovely and talented Adrian, handsome Todd, and William the intern. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com. Tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. I'm Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus.